This next session is going to be unlocking organizational performance with learning experiences leveraging on digital technology. So again, kind of keeping that theme going around digital technology, we will welcome Emanuele Castellani, the CEO of Cegos Italy and board member of Cegos Asia Pacific.
Good afternoon, everybody. As you have understood from my name, I come from Italy. So I'm an Italian 48 years old man speaking English in an Asian event in Singapore and working for a French company. Isn't it an example of globalization? Okay? I have asked to myself why you are here. If you are here, I think it's because you have been interested in the title. Because till now, the only thing you know is the title. Okay? So I want to be very clear. My purpose is to let you understand what's the connection between the word performance, the word learning experience, and the word digital technology, in order to let you understand why best companies today are able to achieve greater performance, engaging their people in new behaviors through learning experience and digital learning. Okay? But it will not be a speech. Okay? It will not be, I will not talk for 20 minutes. I will engage you in some polling with some questions, okay? Because I want you to understand and learn something, not only from what I say, but also from yourself, okay? And from the benchmark you can do, okay? So for this reason, I ask to, if there is the possibility, if you can show the, I ask you to use your smartphone and connect to this live polling, www.menti.com, okay? Because this is the way how you will be able to express your point of view, your opinion on all the questions that I will ask you. And I will ask you 6 questions during these 20 minutes, okay? Is my English enough easy to be understood? Okay, thank you. And you have to type this code 656793 to enter in the app. Okay? If you click on the heart, we can immediately see how many we are in this room. Okay? So we can calculate percentage. And you can check everything on your smartphone directly after having made your choice. Okay? Okay? Have you done? Who has finished, please raise your hand. Okay, still some moment. Okay, let's go. We will talk a lot about behaviors, okay? Are you familiar with these two men? I guess the Oriental will be much more familiar with Confucius. Raise your hands, who is familiar with him? Oh, and not many of you will be familiar with the other one, who is Aristotle, okay? Aristotle is a person that lived 2,500 years ago, more or less like Confucius. And what do they have in common? Okay? They have in common the fact that they've been talking about behaviors already 2,500 years ago. Okay? One with the concept of superior man, the other one with the idea of the 7 causes behind every behavior. Okay? But both of them talked about behaviors. Why? Why so important to talk about behaviors? Today we have neuroscience, okay? And following from neuroscience, we have neuroeducation. Are you familiar with neuroscience and neuroeducation? Okay, I see your hands. You are not sleeping yet, okay? Neuroscience is the science that studies how the brain works. Neuroeducation is the science studying how the brain learns, or rather, how the person learns through the brain. And this last year, we have reached some important conclusions about the fact that, first of all, the brain never stops learning. Okay? And these other four important key findings: the emotions have a huge impact on learning, the social process of learning is very important, the experience is very important, and the learning environment is very important. Okay? But what I'm saying is very simple. If we want to obtain a greater performance, you must be able to change your behavior. But if the brain is still able to learn for your entire life, it's simple. We can learn new behaviors and generate the new performance. Easy. Okay? But is it so sure that when we learn something, we transform that new learning in new behavior? Is it sure? No. I work for a L&D company, and I can assure you that it's not like that. It doesn't work like that. Okay? So this is the reason why we have this passion for continuous learning, because we are focused on performance. And now I have the first question for you. So can we launch? So, what influences performance the most, in your opinion? An additional financial investment in your company, new technologies, different people behaviors, government politics and rules, or macroeconomic conditions? You have few seconds to reply. Okay, as you can see, we can show immediately your preferences on the screen. Aha, there's a battle between behaviors and technologies, but financial investments is leading. It's like a horse riding. Okay, oh, different people behaviors take the leads. Okay, we have had 39 replies. Is there anybody else who wants to reply? Okay, 47, 50. Okay, very nice. I still keep it for a few seconds, otherwise I'm going too long. Okay? Are you okay? Wow. Wow. Different people behaviors has taken the lead. Okay. Okay, so it appears clear, of course, we are at the HR festival. I would have been surprised by the opposite, okay? But if you are surprised by, can we go back to the slide? The focus on performance determines the focus on behaviors, okay? You see that graphic coming from IMF, that is the run to performance, okay? And it shows clearly, that's the reason why I'm in Asia, that Asia is passing the rest of the world in terms of incidence on GDP, more than 50% of the total GDP in the world, okay? But we have to do a strategic, we have to move a strategic leverage on the upskilling, and we have to choose the learning experience as a strategic choice, and we have to use the digital learning as a strategic tool. And even today is even more difficult because the performance is more difficult to obtain because the world is really moving faster and faster. You have heard everywhere. But what I say is not only the world is moving faster, it's moving too fast if compared to the human capacity of adaptation. For this reason, it becomes necessary to work on upskilling. Okay? We have a social transformation. Okay? This is what happens in the society. We have a business transformation, which is what happens in the business world. And these two, social transformation and business transformation, lead to new challenges in the L&D sector. Okay, here I have the second question for you. You see, I have made a list of challenges you can face. My question is, this is the list, yes? Which of these relate to you? Yes or no? And you will create a sort of radar or spider, okay? You simply have to click whether you find something that is that you are familiar with, you encounter. You have to work against. Okay, just one reply. Three replies, you see. 5, 6, okay, you are arriving. Okay. I appreciate shorter time to competency, which means, okay, not only you need to upskill, but you need to do it quickly. You cannot wait as much as you could wait in the past, okay? As well as new learning culture and skills. It's very, very important. For example, millennials, I see many millennials attending today. Millennials are coming to the workplace with a very different mindset, okay? So, okay, we can go ahead. Thank you. You will receive the outcome of this service we will do after from us with a PowerPoint document. Okay, and we will share it on LinkedIn. So, whether it is social transformation, business transformation, or new L&D challenges, the important is upskilling. It's not only us, we say that, but if you give a look at the 22nd CEO survey done by PwC, you can easily find on the web, 34% of the CEOs around the world, they say that one of their major concerns is the lack of skills. Okay? And it is true all over the world, in Asia, in Europe, in Africa. And when you ask, what's the impact of the lack of skills? The reply is poor innovation, increasing cost of personnel, the quality standards that go down, and the loss of opportunity, which means that the performance you want to achieve, you will not achieve. Okay? So, when you ask how would you work on it, the reply is we would invest on training. This is 1,300 CEO around the world. Okay? I have another question now. So, how would you rate the skills availability in your company? Oh-ho. So we need to invest on new skills or upgrade the existing ones is around 9 as an average. And the skills are in line with company and strategy needs is around 6. So they are coherent, okay? So you feel the need to have an investment on skills. Okay. So I'm in the right place. Okay, we can go. Second question, I have said that if you want to be sure that what you learn goes to the behavior, so you transfer it, the learning experience have higher impact on behaviors than classic training, and learning experiences can be assured through digital learning. How many minutes do I have? Excuse me? 3, 5? Okay, thank you. 5 more minutes. Yeah, with all these surveys, they are working. So 58. So learning experience is much more impactful than a classical training. Okay, but I see you don't agree too much with me on the digital learning. Okay, and I'm happy for that, because so I want to show you why I'm so convinced that it is the opposite. Okay, because digital learning means at our word, means anytime, anywhere, any device. Okay, so you can learn whenever you want, wherever you want, and using whatever device. Digital learning can increase, without increasing the cost, can increase the elapsed time of learning. So you can overlap the time you learn with the time you work. Is it clear? Okay. Which means that when you learn, you can immediately apply. This is well known for what is being called micro-learning. Okay. But we are, Cegos, my company, we are convinced that it works also for the macro-learning. I mean, for behavioral learning, for managerial learning, okay? Digital learning allows personalization with adapted programs or adaptive programs. Adaptive programs are the ones that adapt to yourself while you do them, okay? And personalization produces engagement, okay? At the end, I said newcomers to the working place, millennials or generation 2000, okay? They will arrive and they will have studied at school, at university, using digital tools. How can we imagine that in the future they learn without digital? We would ask them a switch in their mind that they are not capable to do. Is it clear? So, this is the paradox of humanification 4.0. The fact that at the end we say digital, but the focus is on person, on people. Okay? Now, I have this that I think 1 more minute or 2. Huh? Even more? Okay. This is the slides that show how it works when you can overlap the digital learning during the working part of life. Okay? What happens here? Okay, here. This is the peak of the learning curve. It means that during the phase of learning, phase of training, you learn, you learn, you learn, and then it arrives the practice phase. Okay? During the practice phase, maybe you lose what you have learned because you don't put into practice what you have learned. And during the application phase, down there, here, okay, it's even worse. In the sense that if you don't have someone or something that keeps you up, okay, your learning curve gradually will decrease and disappear. Which means you go to a training course, you learn a lot of things, then you go back to work. When you go back, you find a lot of things that haven't been done, and you start doing them. and you start doing them with the old behavior. Okay? But if something happens during your daily routine that remind you what you have learned during the classroom, it is very probable that you will put in place the new behaviors. And then you apply once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and then it becomes a new habit. Okay? I will conclude with this slide that is 8 examples of digital learning, because sometimes when I say digital learning, there can be someone who imagine e-learning modules, for example, which is the beginning of digital learning. Today, digital learning is much, much, much more than that. Okay? So, I have the very last question. I can do it? Thank you. The very last question. So, which of the following digital learning tools have you already used? So, 15 of you have replied, which means that the rest haven't any experience on digital learnings. So, 18. Haha. Previous questions had nearly 65 replies. Oh, they are growing. Oh, okay. Good. This spider graphic is more difficult to be composed. Yeah. So, video-based learning, yes, for sure. And social learning, collaborative learning. Oh, nice. I would have said virtual classroom as well. But I don't want to suggest. Okay, 60 answers is okay. So this was my, not the last one, but last. I have one more. Okay, this is the last slide. It's the most difficult. I'm not going to explain it because I will take 10 minutes, but simply the concept. Can you stand up? Yeah, stand up. This is just a conclusion, okay? So this is experience, okay? So now, close your eyes. Trust on me, you can close your eyes. Nothing will happen, okay? Imagine you have in front of you a stair, okay? And in this stair, the steps are equal. Imagine 20 centimeters, so you can rise, okay? After you have done 3, 4, 5, you can even close your eyes, like you are now, and you can continue going, okay? Because steps are equal and you know it, okay? Now I change, but keep your eyes closed. Now I tell you that the stairs which is in front of you, the steps have different height. So the first step is 10 centimeters, the second is 20, the third is 15, the fourth is 40, okay? Could you be able to rise this stair with your eyes closed? I guess no, too risky, okay? So, thank you for your participation. This is a way to understand how the world has changed, okay? Because we have been adapted to live in a world where we could find our habits, like the length of the steps, okay? We could find our habit, close our eyes until a moment of disruption arrives, okay? Then there's the moment of disruption, and we change the habit, and we are again able to close eyes and go. Today the world is not like that anymore. Today the world is the one where everything changes every time. So much more difficult to get habits, okay? And instead you have to be able to change, to be flexible, and adapt. That's what, that's what we ask with the new way of managing L&D through learning sprints. Okay? This is my, which is this, that part. This is my LinkedIn profile. If you want to be in touch with me, I write some articles. Unfortunately, part of them are in Italian, but I'm increasing the English ones. You can also find many videos on YouTube from me. And if you want to write to me, I'm more than happy to reply to everybody. Thank you.